Hi, I'm Priya Rao from the First Weekend Club, and I'm here with two of the stars of Cast No Shadow. We have Bruno, who's sadly, most of his storyline got lost on the cutting room floor. It happens, Bruno. But we also have the writer and one of the stars, Joel Thomas Hynes. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
Great. We were just talking off camera about what it's like to be from Newfoundland, and a lot of fighting goes on there. Now, this film, you're a bit of a fighting kind of man in the film in some ways, you know, not maybe the nicest guy. Did you write the part for yourself?
Yes, definitely. I wrote the part for myself to play. Years ago, I played the boy as a 30, like when I was 30, I played him. And Angus, the character that I ended up playing on screen, was a really huge, domineering presence in my life. And that character, Jude, had a lot of fear and a lot of everything, every move he made was sort of based on Angus's influence. So it was very interesting to play him on camera, for sure. And I played him with my own son, playing a teenage version of the role that I had written for myself years ago.
What was that experience like?
On camera with my boy? Well, it wasn't our first time on camera together. We had done a short where we played an estranged father and son team, very intense, and so he definitely, and he's been on camera since he's been in utero, you know, because his mama did her first feature when she was pregnant with him, and then he's sort of grown up around it so much that
he was just born to be on camera.
Yeah, and he just took it for granted that no, this is what he was doing now. I remember trying to impart to him how the big, huge responsibility of this dark-ish role for a kid, and he was like, yeah, all right, and he's, you know, doesn't seem to care much until the camera's rolling, and then he's just in. So he's a very young age. He turned 12 during the filming, and he played a guy who just turned 13. So he's very young to carry such a heavy role, you know, and he's in every scene of the movie, and he carries it from start to finish. I watched it on the big screen at the Available Light Film Festival last night, and you know, he just carries it in a way that I'm sitting there and I've written the movie and I'm in it, and I'm able to sit back and just watch it, and he disappears into it, and I don't even see my son, you know.
Wow. Yeah. And let's talk a little bit about the film. It's set in the East Coast. This is very East Coast centric. Bruno's getting upset that we're not asking him some questions. I'm sorry, Bruno. We were going to get to you, but Joel is hogging.
That was his little skull.
That was accidental. But this film, it's a drama, but it's also in some ways like a modern fable, right? Kind of like a dark fairy tale.
It is, yeah, it is a bit of a dark
elements.
fairy tale. There are fantasy elements in it, for sure. And
it can be creepy at times.
There's a kind of a troll that the boy is distracted by the idea of the presence of this troll, and you can't ever quite put your finger on whether or not it's a manifestation of his inner darkness or if it's a real element of the world around him. And I mean, I grew up in a big black Newfoundland nights, you know, and the only thing parents had any leverage over you in terms of keep you in line were the old stories. So we grew up with ghosts and banshees and fairies and trolls and this sort of thing, and that would sort of dictate the boundaries of how you roamed at night. And there's a road that goes on over my lane over towards where my house is. There's a street light here, and then it's just a black stretch of road between that street light and my house. And God, up until I was about 16, I would start running as soon as I got past that street light, and you'd be running blind in the dark, and then you know how the panic snowballs.
Yeah.
You
the
hear,
closer you get, the more scared you are.
and you're just running blind towards your own house. So kind of grew up with that. And I remember one night my brother got lost in the woods. with a friend, and he came home crying, and what a and he was really young then, and it was this horrifying experience for him. And I always thought, wow, there's something out there to be horrified.
I'm sure that there is something out there to be horrified of, for sure.
It's an old world.
It is, and we don't think of that sometimes. What is it that you hope people will take away from this film?
What they'll take away from it, I don't really know yet. I don't go into it.
Is it different from it for everyone, you think?
It is fairly not to scare anybody, but you know, I've spoken to a lot of audience now, and everybody sort of takes away something different. Some people just take it away and say, "Wow, that was great. Your boy was great," or whatnot. And then some people will zero in on little scenes and find a whole story underneath that scene. So I guess the best thing you can hope for when you're putting a movie or any kind of piece of work out into the world is an open-minded, intelligent audience. And we've gotten that at times, and
sometimes not.
Sometimes not.
It's a crapshoot.
I'm not always an intelligent audience.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Joel Thomas Hynes, thank you so much. Good luck with the film. We can't wait until it comes out, and so we can get all of you guys to get out into the theaters and watch it.
Thank you.